Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Yo, it's been like a month.
Yeah, they're not even gonna remember me, dude.
They're not even gonna remember what Sandman Talks is about. They're gonna be like, what, is this some weird new talk show where you talk about your small dicks? Like, what are we
It
about?
hasn't been that long.
I
but
know.
That would be a great show.
It would be really interesting. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sandman Talks, the talk show kind of hangout where we just pick an email in my Sandman Talks email address and we talk about it, pretty much, right? That's like a good explanation.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know, it's like the closest thing to a podcast we've got, man. It's
Yeah.
like talking about your guys' problems because we don't have any.
None whatsoever. We're always happy, always perfect, always uploading, always feeling great.
So I live real life through you guys because your lives all suck.
Yeah, and which is awesome for us. We're loving this. I mean, this is great. But today is a good one. Today we got a really, really good topic. I have not read the email yet. I like to save that. Like I said, I mean, I read parts of it. I know what it's about, but I like to save it so it's a natural reading.
Wait, do we have a follow-up at all? Have any of the guys from the last ones hit you up?
Let me check my sent mail out to them. Okay.
Because I want some updates on my advice. I want to know if what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
leading to disasters.
Let me see. The depression one was deep. Oh wow. Okay, we got a big follow-up. I think it was an anonymous one. If you guys remember the depression episode, it was about.
Oh, I thought it was the squirrel one.
Not the squirrel one. The squirrel one. Hold on. Let me see. He said, "I appreciate the help. I'll try to get in contact with my dad ASAP." I think I read that last episode.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, we had a really good talk about depression, and you know, that email was deep, dude. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, it was. I mean, we got into it. We had Rob for that episode too, right?
I don't think possibly not the depression one.
No, not the depression one. That's right. Yeah.
But that was the one that was dealing with depression for 6 years, currently 16, spending most of my days. But we figured out like it was like actual depression. We had a really good talk about depression. But the person actually wrote back, and he said, "I'll be very blunt. I really didn't expect my email to be chosen, so I really appreciate knowing that you managed to get through all of the submissions. That is honestly great. Also, thanks for the compliments on my writing. I'm a junior in high school." But I also do a bit of writing on the side, actually, to fill up time like you and Mike suggested. I never thought about it that way before now. I really like the feedback, and you definitely brought some ideas to the table that I'd never discussed or heard before. Mike's thought on how I may need to focus a little more on why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, being just one example of several. To be totally honest, I'm not necessarily feeling better, but there's definitely a bit more of a spark of hope that I needed. The thing that got me
good. That's how it starts.
That's it, dude. That spark is so important. The thing that got me the most was how you were talking about needing to find a purpose in life. I think that there have been points where that's all I could think of, and maybe that's the part of me feeling empty or really down. Whatever you want to call it, I suppose. I plan on trying to work out my days so that I don't necessarily have a lot of time to sit in thought. As for social media, I really should have brought this up in the first email. I didn't use it to begin with. I agree with Mike on it being bad for the mind. I do have Facebook strictly to talk to my one friend, but that's as far as it goes. Your idea on YouTube, I have looked into. I do actually have a YouTube channel now, but it has 2 Destiny montages, and that's really it. However, back to my...
Well, there's the problem. That's why you're depressed, dude.
Dude, Destiny? Ugh, that's rough. Back to my main point. Thank you a ton for the feedback. Being who I am, it was nice to get some outside opinions on all this.
That's an awesome,
especially for a person channel that I respect. It opened my views drastically, and I'll never forget this. Keep up the good work. Doesn't that feel good? Like,
yeah, it actually does. And the fact that he like quoted things that I said, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing, man. Is I love that some people, some people don't watch this. If there's no Rocket League in the title, they're just like, I'm good, and I'm so happy those people aren't watching this because. I don't know.
They'd be like, what is this?
They'd be like, oh, man, just talk and play. But as you can see in my gameplay right now, I play much better when I'm not talking. But today's episode, that was like just a little nice intro. It is really good to like look back on.
Yeah, I was curious.
Some of the things. Today's episode is living with a girlfriend I don't want to marry. And this is by Michael. Michael, I don't think wants to be anonymous, but Michael's a very blunt name. Hey, for all we know,
last name
Mike
was
wrote
Neat,
this.
wasn't it?
Yeah, Michael Neat.
Michael of the Neat.
Of the Neat
okay.
world. That's your old self, bro. That's your old self. So we got, hi, John and Mike. How do you know? How did he know?
You knew it? I'm a part of this show, man. That's it.
You are. I mean, this is now like our show. This is where people who are praying for you to upload come just to check up to make sure you're still alive. Like,
That's true. Yeah.
they're just like, this is going to be a bit of a long one. It's actually not too long. I'm 24 years old. Okay, we got the age. A college grad, full-time job, and an everyday normal dude. I've got a great one for you to discuss. I met a girl on a dating app 2 years ago, and we hit it off. Was Tinder around 2 years ago, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
It
cool.
was around 2 years ago.
It's
been around for like, I want to say like 6 years.
Okay, I met my wife, now she's my wife, like right as Tinder was like taking off. So yeah, that sounds about right. Six years ago. Because I never used it. I'm sort of jealous. Swiping seems fun. Just like left and right and then trying to like make conversation. You say it is?
It's a real quick way to find out you're ugly too.
Oh, buddy.
No, I'm kidding. I'm dead serious, but
no, of course you are. I mean, you swipe one way for a yes and one way for a no. Like that's the most blunt.
It's like you send 30 yeses out. Why can't you at least get one or two?
One
back
match,
from girls?
Because then there's a match.
Like Shrek.
All right, it was a long distance kind of thing, about an hour drive away from each other. That's not even that bad. She eventually moved 2 hours away. We pretty much only saw each other on the weekends, which was fine for a while, but it got pretty tiring having to pack up every weekend and head back to her place. At first, things were amazing. Sex was good, hanging out was fun, going out was fun, and we had a lot in common. Food, restaurants, bars, museums, etc. After about a year, something changed, and I started doubting our future and what it was coming to. We talked about it, and we would make up things that it would get better, but this roller coaster continued for 2 years. Having dated long distance for 2 years, we decided that if we didn't move in together, it just wouldn't have worked out. We started looking for places to move in between where we live. We saw a couple places and one stuck out as a real possibility. At that moment, I thought for 2 days if I really wanted to take this step. And I spoke to my mom and a few friends about it. I decided I wanted to break up. So I went for it. Bum, 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 bum. It didn't pan out well.
Yeah.
I have strong feelings for her, her family, her dog, her friends. Just a lot of memories we have. I felt terrible crushing her hopes and dreams of a future, but things weren't going so well. The sex wasn't there anymore. It wasn't that great as it used to be. We would fight about the stupidest things, and it was getting to be toxic. To summarize the rest of the story, we got back together because I felt bad. I was hurting too, of course, and I hated hurting her. So I laid things on the line, and we have been working on them ever since. Now we live together, see each other every day. Things have definitely improved. It's a nice life we have. We don't need to worry financially. We don't need to live out of a bag every weekend, but I can't help shaking the feeling of something isn't right. I don't know if I want to marry her, and I don't know where it's going otherwise. But of course, now we live together. What do I do? Wow,
this is
Mike!
Easy for me, man. This is easy.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
Well with this one.
Yeah.
He's already made his decision. Like,
I agree.
People don't realize how smart they really are. Like, you're very smart. Your gut is way smarter than you are, and your gut is basically telling you what you need to do and what you want to do, but everything in your head is trying to convince you not to do it because it's trying to protect you from something that's going to be hard or something that's going to be difficult. In the same way that people get talked out of going to the gym, the same way that people get talked out of doing literally their homework, because it's like, don't do that. That's hard. Like, this is dangerous. But it doesn't mean that it's not good for you. So to me, we can get into this by detail, but like right off the bat, I just want to say you've made your decision. The relationship is most likely going to be doomed in the sense that you will never have that full feeling of satisfaction.
Yeah.
Like, buddy, man, it's going to be...
I will
figure it out.
I will play devil's advocate in a little bit. Realistically, I actually fully agree with you. Mike, like you know, dude, it's in you. You've already said it out loud. You've already, he really started talking about like the memories and the dogs and like the family and the parents. And that's good that you opened your heart up to that when you were in a relationship with her and are in a relationship with her. It's just going to get harder, though. You're going to build more memories. The more dogs are going to be born in the family. Family members are going to get closer and more board game nights and whatever it is. And it's just going to get harder and harder to make the decision to man up and to just be like, listen, I love you and will always love you, but this is on me. And like, as cliche as it is, I know it's the most cliche thing to say, but like, it's just, you feel that way. And that feeling is not gonna, and you're gonna regret it so much if you let it get, I mean, dude, it just gets even harder if she gets pregnant. And you guys are like, well, it gets even harder if you guys actually buy a house and like fully, even though you moved in, I don't know if you bought it or whatnot or renting, but like if you buy that house and like every step is just gonna make it way harder. If you throw a ring on it, she's gonna start putting that pressure, or want that.
I know, like, this is a very common thing that people don't realize. There are people that legitimately get married and it's just like out of convenience.
Because convenience and because exactly what you put in here. They just felt bad and everything was pretty good. Like, that's what, dude, it's your life. It is your life. You want to make it the best life. And if you have to be selfish, honestly, I'm not a selfish person at all, but you come first. I'm telling that to everyone who's
being selfish. It's you. If you want to look at this in the most selfless way, you're not completely invested in this relationship. You can try and convince everyone around you that you are, but like I can. And
that's
tell by
not
the way
fair.
You word this letter.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair to her to spend her entire life with a guy who's half invested. There's going to be a guy out there who wants to marry her and is thrilled to live with her.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that it should be you. And like you. Dude, oh my God, you have one life and you're 24 years old.
24.
You're probably a quarter of the way through it.
Dude, college grad,
really
full-time job. They're living well, comfortable, like at 24.
Yeah. Life's not about
what
being
24-year-old has that? Like I was still living with my parents at I think 23, 24. Like I was working at TGI Fridays at 24. And trying to be an actor. Like no, shit was not comfortable. I had like $220 in the bank account to live off of.
But he's like convincing himself that it's good enough to stay.
And you do that. You do that.
Not anything bad about it. But like, there's nothing really bad about where I live.
So I will say this.
Want to live here the rest of my life?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. I will say this. I'm married, right? Which is like a whole other side. That's like where it's going, Michael. Like that's like the direction it's going in. The girl I was with before, I was younger, yes, but it doesn't matter. I had the exact same feeling you're having right now. With the woman I'm with now, my wife, I never even had that for a second. That thought across the table is sometimes like okay, and some people have it and they like sort of think about it and they're like, oh no, this is it. But this is a deep thought. So what I'm trying to say is, I really, we could play devil.
I like the way you put that, honestly, because like it's weird to think that you don't have a doubt in your mind that your wife is the right one for you.
There wasn't even a moment. There wasn't even like the only moment was like, can I provide for another person? Like that scared me.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was scared in my relationship earlier on.
So then you take like he has his girlfriend now, and he has doubts. He's not completely sure about it. Which, if you think that this is something that gets beaten, I honestly want to say it's not, because you're going to go through your life. She is going to get uglier. She's going to probably do less things for you. There's going to be less love.
Well, you lose the spark. You lose that first 4 months of relationship. How depressing
is this relationship going to be in like 15 years? Like you're going to be like, how did I get in this? How did I have 2 kids? Why didn't I just listen to my gut back when it was? You think it's hard now.
That's the scary thing. That's the scary thing. When you're talking about a divorce, when you're talking about putting kids through that, when you're talking, I mean, I bet a bunch of people listening. This is, you have no investment. A girlfriend is honestly, and I feel bad because we're really hitting on like this like anti-love kind of thing, but it's just for this situation. Like if you want to see the other side of the fence is like, yeah, Michael like is saying things are getting better and like So maybe, maybe rekindling, and there could be like this new kind of fire that has been lit, which is fine. But at the end of your whole statement, after you said things were getting better, you said, I don't know if I want to marry her, and I don't know where it is going otherwise. And I feel like that was just like your final like stab, was like, hey, things were amazing. Sex was great, dude. Boom, boom, boom. Went way downhill. We're trying to pick it back up, and like we talked about it, we argue a lot, whatever, and things are going up, but I don't think I want to marry her. I'm not sure if I want to marry her, and I don't know how things. And then like
honestly, dude, like I feel like I've been in this exact situation, because I was in a relationship for 5 years when I first started my YouTube channel, and I had that exact same feeling where it was like, I'm not gonna marry this girl. I didn't love this girl. And I stayed with her probably like 2 years after realizing that, because I had no reason to break up. It was scary. Like I knew her family, I knew her friends. She was such a big part of my life, and I was so scared. But it's never as bad as you think. And the next like week, when I actually pulled the plug,
it could be bad. I mean, like it depends if the person's like a yeller, like gets very intense. Like,
oh no, the breakup was awful. Okay. The breakups are awful. I'm talking like. You think that like as soon as you do it, you're gonna be filled with regret, but there is like the most freeing feeling ever that you don't know you're gonna get. But as soon as you break up with somebody that you know you don't love, like a week later, there's this feeling inside of you like you did something right. I don't even know how to explain it, but I sat there in my office. I remember it when I broke up with that girlfriend, and I was like, I did it. Like it took so much strength, but like this was the right move, and it was such a good feeling.
Breaking up is always going to be hard, whether you're freaking 16, 20, 25, 30, it doesn't matter. Like, it's sad. It's a sad moment. And yes, it's sad to like go through all those memories and stuff, but also if you start thinking of memories as more of like learning. Like, don't think of memory, like, yes, you can get really sappy about it, like, a movie, and be like, oh, the memories of us at Disneyland riding that roller coaster. But think of it as like moments where you learn something, and what you learned was how to find the perfect person out there in the world. And I'm one of those sappy human beings where I'm like, everyone has their perfect people. I think it's multiple. I don't think it's one person. We can get into a whole topic like that. But I think like your whole life, you're making this list, and some people get dragged in early and or find the one they want early, and some people it's later in life. Some people never. Some people multiple. But like, I think you already know the answer, Michael. I think like you know what I mean, and that's okay.
It's like his brain is trying to go like, listen, like things are getting better. We're talking about stuff. We're doing this, but then his intuition deep down is like, bro.
Get me out of here! I'm done with this relationship.
Yeah, but I know that your brain is stupid, dude. Like it tries to convince you to not do so many things. Oh, don't open that business. What if it fails? Like, oh, don't go sing at the talent show, because what if people make fun of you? It always convinces you to do the wrong thing.
Don't go ask out that girl. She'll laugh at you. It's like that's like the hard. Like, why do you think many people do not like make when you realize that if you go up to her and ask the girl out, or ask her to like go, hang out, have like a coffee with you or whatever it is. And then if she does laugh at you, that's like a movie moment. That's something you can laugh about. Like, she literally laughed at me, which never happens
to the best looking guys in the world.
It happens
to me.
It happens to everyone. But I bet you more than 50% of the time, they're usually like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I'm down. Like, there's at least
fun story, dude. I have an ugly friend who
who
has
Mike.
a dime girlfriend. A 10 out of 10 girlfriend.
Is he confident as can be?
Yeah.
Yep.
He asked out 100 girls his freshman year of college.
There it is.
I mean, these girls would laugh in his face.
Yep.
They would just be like, dude, are you serious? And like, he'd be like, whatever. He'd brush it off. He'd go hit on the next girl, like her friends. And now he's dating a 10 out of 10. Probably just because he wasn't afraid to ask her.
Yep.
Like 10 out of 10.
You
dude.
never know what people like and what people like want. Everyone's different. Just because someone on the outside looks like this, oh my God, gorgeous, stunning, 10 out of 10 person, that doesn't mean
Some
like
of them are crazy.
They don't like, it doesn't mean they don't like the average nerdy dude, like whatever. Yeah. Like it's so crazy. So I think you've already answered your own question. To play devil's advocate, yeah, maybe things are getting better. Like that's awesome, and maybe you'll figure it out, like that you've been with her for so long and you've had all these great memories, and you actually really do love her, and you see her being. For me, what the kicker was, and this is just like I think as you get older in relationships, I never looked at like who's gonna be my wife. That was never my go-to thing. It was always who's gonna be the mother of my children.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that is so true.
And
the older I get, the more I think about that.
And I think that's what it is.
Completely different.
They're so different. They're so different.
Like you can think about these girls, and it's like, oh my god, I'd marry that.
So
girl.
hot.
Look at how hot she is,
Yeah.
dude. Oh my, can you imagine the things we do? But then, as soon as you picture her as a mother, you're like, oh my god, like, it's like child abuse.
Yeah, so like that's what I did when I think it was like around like I think it was after like my last relationship which was like 4 years. I just started like mindset was that, and then obviously you still need to be attracted to and fit personality, and I was looking for like funny and like you have your little list in your brain that you never really talk about, and I met it obviously, and she is the best mom in the world. And so I think like before you do anything, Michael, like I think it would also be good if you guys even want kids. A lot of people don't want kids, so you can just shake this off. But just ask yourself that, like, would she be a great mother to your children while still being your best friend and partner in crime?
So, in your previous relationships, what was like? Was that the moment where you said you had to cut things off? Did you cut?
No.
Things off like
So
that?
luckily, I was exactly what we were talking about. I was like a pussy with breaking up. Like I couldn't do it. Like I felt
hard.
it.
It's
I could.
easy to
I just
talk
like
yourself
was
out.
waiting. So like we would take breaks a lot because it was just such a young. And when you take breaks, you're never gonna work out. Like I'm sorry.
I agree.
If you ever take like a break, like I just need like a month. That just means you want to go have sex with other people, or you want to like do other things.
And the rest of your life, you're going to be picturing that your girlfriend or wife when she was on her break.
On her
banging
break.
another guy.
Exactly. So it always screws things up. But yeah, she dumped me, which was great. Which was great.
See?
Yeah, as soon as it happened, I was like, tearing up. Like I was like, oh man, this sucks. Like why are you doing this to me? And it felt good because I knew I wanted it too, but I was like emotional about it. In a way of like, yeah, I remembered the memories, and her family was awesome, and I was really good friends with her brother, and like we had all these connections. But yeah, I definitely took the pussy way out. I've broken up
But
with.
how often do you feel like you like regret it? Because
Never.
when you were in the relationship, yeah, it's like
Never.
You
Not-
probably. I think of my previous girlfriends, and they're like nothing to me.
No,
Like,
I mean-
I never thought back even at the memories. I've never been like, oh, remember that time we had fun at her family dinner? I don't even think about it at all.
Yeah, no,
It's like,
I don't care. Like,
it's like a shell of my past.
it's your past. It's your past. That's your past, and that's cool to look back on, see some pictures, be like, oh my god, I was crazy. Like, what was I doing there? All right,
that's
cool.
true.
Like, it's a smile, it's a laugh, but like, you're 24. You have many memories to make. If you want this to be the girl, great. Like, keep pursuing it. But based off like just the text, it just seems like you're ready to try something else out. And
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you want to do like, you want to end it with like a Disney moment, you guys could break up for 2, 4, 6 years, and then when you hit 30, you're looking and you see her at a bar and you haven't talked to her in a few years, and everything's there, and things that you didn't like before are fixed, and it's like this new. I've heard of this happening a lot, especially with a couple of my friends. Like, it's just this new thing where it just works and it clicks because you're older, more mature. You both know what you want, and it's just like this. It's fire.
Yeah. And then her husband, 6'9",
Walks
Jeff,
up.
comes out,
Yes.
full
Hello.
pilot attire, and he's like, "Who's this guy?" So my advice to you, Michael, would be buy her a ring. Buy her a ring, marry her
What?
tomorrow.
Wait, what? wait. What?
What? That's not what we were getting at.
I didn't think so, but
Taking
now
advantage of the moment.
I'm down. Yeah, buy her a ring and take her to Olive Garden.
All of your savings plus take out a loan.
Yeah.
And spend it all on the ring.
And get catering at Olive Garden just for the two of you to eat as much as you can. I'm sure they have some sort of
What is
challenge.
this, sponsored? That little
No, I
plug,
just
dude.
had Olive Garden
This video
yesterday.
is brought to you by Olive Garden.
We need to, dude. It's like a podcast. We have to have those. That's like
we
when
need
you.
sponsors.
That's when you know you've made it. When you're like, yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. And when I'm using soap, I always grab Dove. Yeah, you think it's for the
When I
ladies?
eat
No,
bagels. Oh, it's so true.
dude. Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, Michael, let me know in the email. I'm actually gonna email you right now. I'm still looking through with these. Whenever Mike and I can link up, we're such crazy schedule. I mean, both of us really. Whenever we can link up.
YouTubers, man, it's a very demanding job. We're out all the time. It's just so hard to virtually connect.
It really. Shut
It actually is.
It is. It
shouldn't
is.
be.
I mean, like you're 3 hours or 2 hours. Are you Central? You are Central.
Yeah, I'm
right?
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. But it just when we can make an episode, we will make an episode. The series isn't going anywhere. It's chill. It's laid back. And honestly, I love it. I feel good after talk. Like I feel like it makes me understand life more.
Yeah, it's
Just
like I get to talk about things and like I didn't realize I felt so strongly about people who aren't totally invested in a relationship. It's like I take that and it's like wow, like I didn't really ever talk about that.
We
so-
never had that discussion. That's why.
Yeah.
It brings something out of us. Yeah, the Hulk.
Yeah, I like it. It's
I
like
like-
therapy is good for the therapist. I don't know.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. We'll see you next time. Peace out, my homies.